All right, let's see. I believe we are live. Let's check it out. We are YouTube. Check. We are live on YouTube. Twitch. Um, yeah, it's showing up. Where's my? Yep, there we are. We are live on Twitch. We are live up on Kick. It looks like, and Facebook Live. We are up and live on Facebook. Welcome everybody to the Sam Crescent art stream. This is Sam Crescent. I am broadcasting from my studio in Southern California. And today I'm working on my comic book Strength Monsters, an action adventure story that I've been working on for a long time. Now, what is going down? What's happening? I'm gonna warm up, getting to get things going here today. We've got all the streaming things up and running. Everything looks like it's going to be good to go. And I'm starting the daily warm up now. It is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. We are piling up, getting close to the summertime now. And boy, is it going to be a busy day. Up early, getting things started once again. So, since yesterday, boy, I tell you, there's been more recently. So the process has been, I'm warming up still. Let's do some more circles this way. The process has been just get up, fire up the live stream, start drawing. As soon as it's done, I clip the live stream. So I just start clipping it. I just start that means cutting little clips out of it. Like I'm trying to get 4 to 7 of them every live stream. Takes me about 30-40 minutes, and then post them / schedule them up on the social medias. I still get some apprehension before going live. I mean, I've been doing it for over 20 days straight. And it wasn't hard when I started because there's nobody that watches these. Nobody really watches the live streams. But people start watching the clips. And then it gets kind of nerve-wracking. You're like, oh man, even though you can kind of, you just start getting, the more people that start watching, the more apprehensive it can get to do these lives. I'm drawing more circles today because they're a bit rough when I started. I got to get the drawing brain warmed up, you know? And I was not hitting my stride on these circles, so we're working them now. Gonna work these a little bit more. I mean, it's just trust the process. How do you get through the apprehension? I'll have to talk about that later when I'm doing something more interesting than just drawing these circles. Maybe when I'm doing another part of the warm-up, I'll start talking about that stuff. All right, I feel like these circles are starting to warm up a little bit. Starting to get a little more symmetrical, a little more accurate. Let's take those, let's do the verticals now. So vertical lines, get these things going, try to get these lines as straighter. I've been watching more pinstripers, and I'm like, man, that I gotta somehow learn the discipline of pinstriping. The control that those guys have is insane. And it looks like it's just the practice, you know, you fall in love with practicing your pinstriping. Those guys can just pull lines like, there probably is some technique that I need to learn there too, that they're implementing, but there's no doubt that it's that technique has to be honed through hours of repetition, mostly just consistency. It looks like consistent repetition. I just put lines in between lines because I was just working on the accuracy. Like you draw two lines, cut a line in the middle. It's just a drill. I've got to do some vertical circles now. So it's just like challenges the brain a little bit differently here. Is I'll work some circles going this way, moving them vertically now instead of horizontally. And these are rough. I just got to keep it going. And then every time I'm starting one of these lives, you're going, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to keep talking. Do I have anything to talk about? And you have to just trust your brain like that. You'll be able to talk about something. Something will come up. I know a lot of live streamers rely on the chat for discussion and such, because people will ask questions and they can engage in the chat. And then when there's no chat going, they can't pull it off. Well, I don't plan on having a chat anytime soon at all. And also, I don't know how you can focus on your drawing and read chats at the same time. That'd be hard to do. I'm sure I can figure out some kind of a system. I know other artists that are like big streamers have somebody there at their studio that reads the chat to them out loud while they're working, and then it's easy for them to answer their chat. But I don't think I will be in that situation for some time. Okay, that's enough of that one. We'll do another one now. Now I'm just gonna freehand some circles on the canvas. Just freehand some circles. Just work on my coordinations, symmetry. And I'm going to try and work the circle going from the left to the right and the right to the left. And then once I've got some of these filled in here, we're going to try and put circles in between circles here. So the idea is I touch the sides of these two circles and add more circles. So another drill is you just do a continuous circle here. Just warm it up. Now I'll go the other direction. This is actually way easier because you can find a flow and a rhythm. And you can get these accurate ellipsoids going. But just sitting there and just whoop, trying to link up a circle, it's hard. Doom. Doom. All right, boxes now. We're gonna do boxes. Let me get a lighter color here. And let's work some different angles here. Let's put this box here. So What I'm looking to do with this exercise is just draw 3 boxes. They're more or less the same size and proportions. So I don't want to grow the size of the box too high. And we want all right. Let's try that again. This is the hardest one. I'm looking to draw the 3 boxes that are more or less the same size and proportions in perspective, and trying to just kind of rotate it around. And that's pretty much the drill. This is another thing I do as part of my warm-up. This box is not the same as that box, so let's kind of adjust it so that it is. Wish I would have nailed that off the get-go, but you don't always pull it off. There we go. That's pretty close, I'd say. So there's 3 boxes right there that are pretty close. Let's do some more. And I'm just going to change the perspective a little bit. And see what we can do here. Let's move this one above this line. I haven't done any upshots of the box yet. So I talk about how, yeah, I get apprehensive before doing live streams all the time. I've only been doing them for about 20 something days in a row now. And it's easy because there's nobody really watching me actually do the live stream. But there will be people watching whatever I clip of the live stream. And a lot of it's just like trusting the process too. Like, okay, if I do my process and do my warm-ups and everything like that, see, this one's still giving me difficulty. I think I just got to match those angles and proportions that are above me. Already worked it out. Now I rotated this one down a little bit. It's not. So that box is still not what we want. We want it to be looking from this perspective still, but we want it to be further rotated. So maybe if I make a mark here and a tick mark there, then I realize, okay, let's get this thing going the right way here. Move this here a little closer. Well, what do you think? Did I rotate it enough? Yeah, it's more rotated. I'll take it. Let's see here. Let's do one more just for the practice of it. Rotating boxes. What color am I on? I'm on the wrong color. This is supposed to be kind of the horizon line. And I'll just do another row of these boxes here. We'll put this one down here. For some reason, these downward shots are a little easier for me sometimes than the ones where we're looking upward. And for some reason, going from this rotation to the next rotation is sometimes harder for me. That's not right. I already changed the perspective on that. We want a little bit more of this side of this box. So let's see what we can get here. Yeah, it's still off. Let's try it again. Now, I probably jinxed myself by saying, oh, I have more problems with this rotation and this rotation, and then the next thing you know, I'm having a hard time. There we go. That's a bit better. Let's fix this. Let's fix this a little bit. That's okay. Let's do a row here of cylinders. Whoa. Can't really rotate it like that, but what we'll do is we'll just hold on a minute. We'll just move the cylinder around. Okay. There's some shapes in perspective. Let's do some bifurcation stuff. Just still getting the brain warmed up. It's like sometimes I get down on myself. I'm like, oh, you're warming up too long, Sam. You did a 40-minute warm up today. But sometimes it's like I need that much time to get the you know, the drawings to start working. You know, I need that much time to get the brain online. It's just what it is. All right. Nope. Get that in the middle there. No, looking to cut these boxes in a way that is staying symmetrical so that you're warming up your mind and your brain to see the spatial relationships between different segments and parts of this object as best as you possibly can, to judge those distances with your eyes and then be able to draw them correctly. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's do some head. Let's do some. I'm going to attach some heads and stuff to these. I'm going to do it this way today. I'm going to go here, and let's just do some. We'll do some cylinders coming up off the boxes with a sphere attached to the top of it. So again, I'm going to do a cylinder here, and we'll put a sphere on it. Same thing with this one. Now we're on the upshot. Put that sphere like that. Yeah, some space there. Well, I tell you. And this one. Nope, that angle's off. There we go. All right, that's pretty cool. I'll attach a sphere to these. Okay. I'll just keep abstracting this out, and then I'll do something else. Shave off the sides of that. No, that one's going this way. I'm just working on now, kind of turning these spheres into some kind of a mannequinized head. It's going to be looking up. The perspective has to be kind of like this. That one's off. Let's fix this here. That's a little better. It's not perfect, but we'll take it. These upshot ones are going to be more challenging here. Let's get this one shaved off here. There we go. So you can start abstracting out more stuff. Anyway, I don't know how many more of these I should do. It's starting to take kind of a drag on for a long time type of thing, and I need to do some Bridgman work. We can put in the collarbones on these things too. We'll work a down shot here. These are challenging. This is going to be something like this. Like that. There's the down shot from there. This one too is going to be kind of hard. We'll work it there. That one's the worst probably of all of them. I'm gonna fix it a little bit here. All right, that's okay, I guess. Last one. Perspective's off on that one. I'm making them look the wrong way. Let's redo that. Started jumping ahead. We want the eyes will be, we'll make the eyeliner right about there. Cut that. That's better. That's one of the better down angles that I got. The other one was kind of whack. This one works a little bit more. Okay, it's enough of that. Let's move on and do some Bridgman stuff. We've been working for 30 minutes now, and I can feel the flow starting to come in. Hopefully, just process, and more process. I don't know. All right, let's work this one here. So this is another interesting one where he's really showing this. Let's use a lighter color. So Bridgman is showing we have this shape here. Whoa, what is that? You have this shape there. Some volume with it. This might be a good shape to just practice, you know? Collarbone, sternum here. And then we've got the scapula coming out there, you know? And this is on in his book on page 171, and I probably maybe I could pull the image up onto the screen and probably be more useful because then you can see what I'm looking at. But it's like this is here, like if we were gonna rotate this image or this form around, like right there, maybe so right now we're saying it's kind of straight on. What if we put it over here? You know? Now, I shortened it up. It's not as elongated, but I don't know. Maybe it's okay, you know? Who knows? Spine, hips. But kind of like that's another exercise that it could do is just kind of take this shape and see if I can kind of there. That's it. Move it around. So that's kind of one of the ways I like to try to study from Bridgman is just take something he did in his book and see if I can move it around. Sternum. Because this is clearly kind of the rib cage and the lungs here. That's not exactly what I want. Now we can also use our box. And maybe that might help rotate this thing around some more. Now we know we have sort of an ellipse like this. I mean, I don't know why I chose to do it this way, but I did. Yeah, the top plane somewhere around there. So let's see here. Let's do a drawing now from here. So this one, he's got the shape going this way. Oh, let's try that again. Okay, so this one, Bridgman's got the shape going this way. Let's see here. A little more accurate. Through here. Let's move this down a little bit. Arm is coming up here. Shoulder. Head's here. And then the body wedges here. This arm's down. Okay, so let's use that and put in our Bridgman design stuff. So up here, we've got the pectoralis muscle here. Comes down here, here, and then through and hooks up, and he's got the nip right there. That's short for nipple, if you don't know about that. Now we've got, this is really cool. He's got his deltoid, and then notice he still is doing this kind of squared off design on his deltoid, which is cool. I like it. There, kind of squared off deltoid there. And he's got that plug-in in there, and he's got some indication there. Then he has this trap right there, showing a little bit of the volume. Neck. Coracoid brachialis, he's kind of got it right here, wedged in. And then angular bicep muscle. That's where the forearm starts. The olecranon of the elbow coming down, and we've got the tricep underneath. Latissimus dorsi right there. Then let's knock this down a little. It's a little bit too intense. Okay, so we've got this big volume here. Get the other side of his chest. Whoops, I'm on the wrong layer. Kind of just a little indication, and then he hooks it, and then he's got it here coming up, and around. Now right in here he's got the pocket, and he's got the sternocleidomastoid indication there going here up to the ear where it inserts behind the ear. We've got the chin here of the head. Something like that. Neck's coming down. Traps coming down. The other nipple's right there. This is probably a little far. I'm just going to leave it. Kind of a sternum indication, and then he's got a cool angle right there for the abs, rib cage. That's probably a little close. Let's fix this up here. So here, I'm here, and then this kind of inserts in. That's pretty cool. This is why, I mean, Bridgman is just, he's probably my favorite to study for figurative drawing right now. And then this, I see what he did differently than me. Okay, let me adjust my pec here. He went, no, I can't tell what's what actually. This is where his sketch is kind of, it's pretty loose, and so you kind of just gonna have to interpret it. All right, well, we'll just stay with that. And we got this side coming down, but that's not what I want. Kind of a sweeps out, up. There we go. That's pretty cool. We'll take that. I see. Now he has a deltoid here. He's got the collarbone in here, kind of coming out like that, and he shows the this here for the deltoid. Angles it, cuts it. Biceps would be coming there. not sure where he's going with this. He kind of just lets the drawing fade out, but that's okay. We'll do what we can. This is a really cool thing that he did there. Kind of this pinch and circle and bulge here, hips. Bring this down, and I'm gonna move this out a little bit. Down, in. So there, he puts the navel right around there. There. Hips coming out. That's pretty much the Bridgman drawing. He's got an indication of something here, probably like the voice where the Adam's apple is, and then he got the ear. He's got an eye kind of indicated right here somewhere. He's got a nose coming up here, kind of an indication of a nose. We could put the other eye right there, and then we'll bring up the head, get the top of the head there. And this is out way too far, so I've got to move this now because I put the ear there. So let's swing it up there to the ear. Bring that in. Not bad. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. What's going on with this arm? I kind of do something like that with it. And then I could kind of bring a tricep down. There. I mean, that's kind of too short. All right, that's good enough for now. So there's the Bridgman study for the day. Let's move on and work on the comic book now. So we'll see how many of these characters we can get through. What I can do here. So this guy, let's just take care of him right now. Turn off some of these guys. Let's go to the felt pen. Really quick, let's just check the chat and see what's going on here. And over on YouTube, oh hey everybody, nobody's here. Yep, nobody on Twitch. Yep, Kick empty, and yep, Facebook empty. I mean, it is 6:36 in the morning right now. We started before 6 a.m. Been going for 40 minutes. That's okay. You got to do what you can when you can. And right now, early morning is when I can stream, so that's when I'm doing it. Now, this character is, yes, he is like a parody of the Kool-Aid Man. I'm calling him Jugman. He is not the Kool-Aid Man, though. He is a social commentary on that character. So that's why he doesn't actually look like the Kool-Aid Man, but he does. And he is carrying juice around, and he's a pretty wild character. He's pretty cool. Let's see here. For his mouth, he's got these teeth that kind of go like this. All right, so if I'm going to use the paint bucket tool, we've got to close off all these little thingies here. Oops, G. That's pretty cool. I mean, this character is pretty easy to draw. There's not too much to him. He's just a big circle. The arms in. I'm going to take care of those hands in just a minute. Make this spout a little bigger. What just happened? Do that. All right. Now we get the joy of drawing these. This character only has three he only has 3 fingers. There we go. I'll take that. Hand works. I've been drawing so many Bridgman torsos, but really I should be drawing more hand. I need to do the hands. Like, I think there actually is a Bridgman book that's just all like hands and heads or something. Maybe that's Loomis, but I think Bridgman might have a hands one too. No, I don't think he does. I think I'm confusing it with Loomis. All right, let's get this one here. Something like that. Kind of weird looking. Let's see. What can I do to fix this up? It's because he only has 3 fingers. It's sometimes those proportions just get off. No. Why is this looking weird to me? Need to kind of get this here, here. Yes, more there. Oops. I see. All right, I know what's going on. We have more of a Still looks off. I'm trying to draw. What I'll have to do is construct it. So let's do that right now. In a different color. I think if I just do that, it'll be fine. So all I'm going to do is just change these lines here to this. Oops, wrong color. To this, to that, to that. All right, that should work. I'll be right back. I've got to check on something really quick, and then we will continue with this stream. All right, sorry about that. Got to wake kids up soon. Had to take care of a few things, but I am back. Let's get this stream finished up. Let's get these characters. Let's get these characters finished too. Okay, so let's see here. Finish off this guy, super easy. We're just gonna come in here, gonna start getting this foot here. Really not too much to this character. He's a fun character and fairly simple to do. All right, now Let's turn off the guide. We don't need the old undersketch. And let me see if that's going to be a little too much. Let's go down to 10. There. But I don't have as much to talk about today as I did yesterday. Let's see what's going on today. Is I've got to do some screen printing. I've got a freelance job that I'm trying to finish. It's coming together nicely, so that'll be done soon. I am going to boost this to 15. It has to be. I mean, the sheer size of this character alone, it's like his silhouette value's got to be pretty strong. I've got to get down to Connect San Diego today and restock my booth some more. I've been going down every week in anticipation of summer starting up. That spot goes off in the summer, but it's imperative that I have all my stuff in stock. And so I've been trying to load it up with more stickers than we've ever had in there. And there's still more stickers I'm going to try to load into it. And then I'm going to work on I have a bunch of comics. I need to sign them all. And maybe put a sketch on them. I think I'm going to do that today. And then I need to get new signage. I need to make some new signage so that it's even more clear the price of everything. And what else? That's about it. I'm getting pretty close to having that booth like set up. There's a little area that I can expand a little more too. That would be a good thing to do as well to kind of. And then I want to start posting work up on eBay again. For a while I was putting like a painting a week up on eBay, and it was actually really good for discovery and finding new buyers and stuff. And I just kind of started prioritizing other things, so that I didn't keep up with it. But I think I can get that going again. I think I can get back into setting aside a little bit of time each day. Eventually, I want to get this live stream set up so that I have a setup of the live stream for my traditional work too, so that I can live when I'm doing stuff, in the physical realm and not just in this, not just in the digital world. So that's something that I'll work on. Not quite ready to do that yet. I still got to get TikTok online here. So what's left to do to get this live stream fully set up is get TikTok going, which I started. Yesterday I logged in the TikTok and I posted on TikTok for the first time in like 2 years. And so I got to get some posts going on TikTok first. so that they'll allow me to live stream again. I have all the requirements met as far as like the followers and everything, like um and I had the requirement met some time ago, and then it just kind of I quit posting on TikTok because I didn't really have a system that would allow me to finish work and post on social media till I came up with this idea, which my idea is, all right, well, I need to finish my comic, need to promote it, need to talk about it. So what if I live stream it? And all right, let's see here. What else can we get in here? Let's get some no. Yeah, I want to get some kind of shiny stuff going on him here. Get that a little more wing. There we go. That looks cool. That's enough. Let's do something on this mouth. This character, he doesn't really need. Yikes. Yikes. He doesn't need a lot. All right, that's it. So we got this one done. Save that up. All right. I've got 20 more minutes before I got to start waking people up. Who's next? Let's work Jungle Girl. This is going to be a hard one. We've got. Hold on a minute. Okay, excuse me. We've got two characters interacting. What the? Okay, I didn't realize I did that. Well, I'll fix that later. Okay, so we've got Jungle Girl here. We've got two characters interacting. She's got this leopard and that she's holding and all this stuff. So let's do the best we can here and get this thing going. I'm going to start with the leopard. I think that might be easier for some reason. I might have to pull up a reference of a leopard because I don't fully recall everything about how these big cats look. Look, I've drawn a leopard throughout this comic, but it's not something that I have reps on. So there's right now I'm going off what I can remember. But at some point I should pull up a reference just to check myself and make sure that I'm doing this thing correctly. From what I recall, though, no, it's not like that. It's get the ears. And then it goes like that. I don't know what that's all about. Let's get this here. Let's move that song off. Okay, so we're getting these leopard ears in. There we go. Pretty much it right there. Now the eyes here and there, something like that. And then we've got to get his spots, which, from what I recall, they kind of work in a circular manner around his eyes here. They don't have the big, huge, like, donut-looking spots on their heads. It's more stuff like that. So actually, not too bad for the leopard so far. I mean, I guess I've drawn a leopard a few times. This is going to be hard. Okay, let's see. We're going to have this come down and in front of her. Elbow comes... Turn that off. The elbow comes out. Down like that. Whoops, no, I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. There. And here we go, into the paw, something like that. Kind of have some fur here. We'll have his other... Okay, so she's holding him. Fur is a little confusing. Bring that up. So now her hair's here. Yeah, not like that. Something like that. For now. Okay, now I see what I did. So we've got his paw here. And their paws just look like this if they don't have their claws out. I'll put a little bit of a claw out on this guy. So this woman is Jungle Girl, and she's like carrying this leopard around over her shoulders. I see her hands there. Maybe I'll put her other hand right here. Something like that there. Just kind of simplify the shape first. Now this thumb looks completely unnatural. So we'll take that off for now. And let's see, her knuckles would be here. So if I use the diagram of the knuckles, we have a square, a triangle. No, this would be a circle, square, square, square. Okay, so go down here. Put that in. Just kind of trying to indicate some knuckles there, and then the back of the hand. And then the thumb would be about there. And then we put her arm like that. I think I'm going to leave it at that because this is a smaller drawing. And if we start drawing in every finger and such, the hand's going to start looking less believable. Now this leg's coming in here. It's coming out. Go like that. And then we've got the paw down here. We're looking at the bottom of this foot. It'd be kind of like that. And I'll keep his claws retracted, and to keep it consistent, I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to retract these claws. Now, this paw is off. Be like that. See if I'm moving here. Something like that. Let's thin it down just a tad somewhere. Try that. I mean, I don't even remember how I laid this in, like, because I don't think I've seen a leopard in this position before. Oops. I think that will pretty much work there, and then we've got the body here. And okay, so we have her hand here. Whoa, this is hard. This is a bone, but it's a little bit too pronounced, and I think it needs to be moved a little bit. Um, I'm gonna construct this hand out better because I can't see it right now. I mean, maybe I should just try to do it, but I'm afraid it's gonna look weird. Let's just block it in, something like that. So let's see here. We'd have a knuckle there, knuckle there, knuckle there, knuckle there. Yeah, I don't like that. I think it would look better if this hand we maybe spread the fingers out more. And did that. That looks more natural. So, you know, we're just inventing hands on the fly, that's all. No big deal. They come like that. Let's move this down a little bit, shrink it down, be about there. And we gotta put a thumb on here. Kind of like that. That works. So let's knock this down. And let's draw this. Now that I've segmented this all out, we want to start thinking in terms of the big shape here that I can just created. I think that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's delete this off. So let's put that back on. A few more things we need on here. A little more indications here. Maybe we put a little bit of shadows here. Some shadow off the knuckle. That. That did not help. That made it look worse. Needs like maybe a little bit more structure. I think that works now. Let's see. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. All right. The Electronon here comes up. Do that. I don't know how well I'm going to get this face in here. Wow, those eyes are like way far apart. What was I thinking? No. That's okay. I wonder if she should have more chin. I'll take it. Now let's fix this hair in her forehead maybe a little bit. That works. All right, what are we at here? What are we doing now? Got to get this tail here. That. And then looks like this is one leg here. But where's his other leg? I think it's got to go right there. So let's get this leg in here. And then his other leg is up here. I'm going to need to construct again because I can't see it in my head. It just happened. I just locked something, I think. No. What do I do? New layer. No, I was just not on the tool. All right, I'm flipping around here. Pin. All right, what can I do? What can I tell you about? I've got to come up with something to talk about here, or I don't know what I'm going to clip. But what we need is got to construct out this leg here, which is going to be kind of curled here. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. I'll do it like this. That works. Let's knock this down. And oops. Fix this. But I still don't love this hand. I'm gonna see if I can improve it a little bit here. Let's do it again on a new layer. I'm gonna draw the finger fully extended, I think, is what we need to do. That's gonna help kind of make it look a little bit more natural. And then this thumb, instead of turning it that way, it needs to be down like that. And let's overlap here so that we know this hand's in front of this arm. Okay, that's already looking a lot better. Let's erase the old hand off. And now let's do a little bit more work on the new hand. Let's fix this thumb still a little bit more of an angle there, a little fatter. I think we're in there. Still looks a little unnatural, so we'll something like that. Nobody's going to really be paying attention to this hand other than me, but dial this in here. There we go. That's cool. I'll take that. That's a better hand, I think, than what I was working with. Looks a bit better. All right, let's put the spots on this leopard. And so here's where we get into the leopard's got spots that kind of do this on his body. Get that going there. When it comes to the tail, we can make it like that, and then the spots kind of go around the form here. And these, when we get onto the um, legs and stuff, the spots turn back into they don't have the donut hollowed out. Ah. But the challenge when you're drawing the spots of a leopard is not repeating the same shape every time, and then keeping those things moving in such a manner that they are wrapping around the form that they are seated on. And I'll fill all these in when I'm done. I'm kind of pointless to do it now. That's his hip. Whoa, what just happened? Okay, so yeah, this leopard's actually looking kind of cool. I'm pleasantly surprised with how it's turned out so far. Is definitely a challenge because I've drawn far less leopards and done far fewer studies of leopards than. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a study of a leopard other than just I've had to draw it for this comic book many times. That's about it. And so when I started, I just had to pull up reference and see, oh, what does a leopard look like again? I've been able to pull this all out of my head from recall because I have drawn these leopards so many times now. And it helps that this is a cartoon version of a leopard and not a real leopard. you know, so there'll be some things that are just not completely accurate, but it's going to be close enough that I think it'll work. Some of the spots on the tail get pretty long, but they're almost like stripes, but they don't turn into stripes. So you still gotta kind of keep it spotted. All right, we're cruising along here. Just do what I can to put this in, to keep this comic book going. All right, now I've just got to go through and close off spots wherever I can so that I can bucket fill them out. Okay, there. Some of it, you just do it. All right, what do we have left here? No, let's leave that as is. All right, let's see if we can start bucket filling some of this stuff out. Boy, I tell you, the stock market is it's going insane from all this microchip stuff. Just crazy to watch. And I'll have to go through this one more time with the pen and kind of hit anything that the bucket couldn't get or that I missed. And then, and plus adding in, you know, any places that kind of we need maybe some more spots. All right, now I'm hitting it with the pen again. Cool, that's pretty cool. I want to make another layer here and 2 thin maybe. Let's hit a little bit of rendering here underneath some of the forms that are kind of turning down. Pretty cool. Got a pretty cool leopard right there. All right, we got to finish drawing this jungle girl now. So here we go. Let's finish jungle girl. There. Up like that. Oh. Hold on, let me fix this. I like it better right there. Put that in there. Oh. It goes there. I gotta draw the bikini. Comes across like this. Goes on like that. The straps come up here. And this strap, you can't see it because it comes up on the other side. How much all there is to that. Navel's right there. And then we gotta draw the hips here. Square them off a little bit. Hold on a minute. Like that. Not sure about that one there. Just take this off for a minute, see what we're dealing with. Something like that. We got leg there. I would go somewhere like that with it. Give it a little bit more legs here. That works. Now this hip's off. I get it. We'd see more like that, maybe? No. What do we have going on here? We've got this cylinder here. No. Let me go up here and figure this out. So we'd have body here. And the hips would be like that. So that's why that's weird looking. So fix it. It would come out there. There we go. That looks less weird. Yeah, that looks way less weird. All right, So now I've got it. So now what I need to do is I'm going to put a new layer up, and then I'm going to knock this down a little bit and get this locked in. There's a bunch of stuff that's weird on this leg still. Oh, I'm having so much trouble drawing today. Something like that. All right, I think that's better. There. Let's erase off. This stuff. What? I'm confused. All right, well, let's clean this up a little bit here. I need to see this figure here. It's like... I'm going to make the legs maybe a little longer. And then I'm going to bring the... Actually, I'm going to bring the crotch up a little higher. More there. And then I've got to go wake up kids. So there we go. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot more natural. The reality is, it's more like that. Keep changing my mind, but it's gonna work. All right, I've got to go wake up some kids, and then I'm gonna drop in the feet on this illustration. Just saving this really quick so nothing happens while I'm gone. This is what we're working with here. All right, I will be back. All right. Did the wake up. Let's finish these feet. Let's finish this figure. Um, what am I doing, man? I'm gonna redo this one. So it could be way better. Man, what am I doing with this foot? It's like all of a sudden my feet are way off. Let's try here. Okay. Now what? It needs to be that. That's why it's just a perspective I'm not quite as familiar with when it comes to drawing feet. But it's nothing we can't handle. Let's fix this a little bit here. Back up all the way. That works. Let's see here. Let's clean the lines up here. Some of these lines that are just my finding lines, my sketch lines, my construction lines, my I don't know what's going on anymore lines. Lines that I just... What is that? Something like that. All right, let's see. What are we looking at here? Okay, let's turn off the construction layer. Okay, this isn't too bad. This figure. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump to the silhouette value. So we'll outline this whole thing and then see what we're dealing with. I think I went a little bit overboard on this elbow. What is going on with this elbow? Holy cow. And I've got a bunch of layers too that I need to figure out. So let's go like this. Let's look at the whole page. And let's see here. That. Okay, let's merge all these layers together. Merge selected layers. Okay. There's still this hand. That's construction. Let's delete that off. And let's merge these two together. Gotta keep discipline on making sure that all these layers are merged. Let's name it Line Art Jungle Girl. Jungle Woman. Jungle Lady. I don't know. Okay. Pen. Let me see here. Do something like this here. All right. What is that, Sam? I mean, we want the medial malleolus indicated there. I think so. Now, this something like that. What is going on? Why is this toe so long? Let's kind of. There we go. And the reality is, you would never see all of the stuff here. But I don't know, man. Hmm. Well, that's not gonna work. Gonna leave it. Figure it out later. I'm thinking this is too thick of an outline, man. Like, that's crazy. Let's redo this. Do it on another layer so I don't have to do that again. And let's knock it down to 7. See if that's a little bit. I mean, it seems silly, but like, I don't really notice a difference. But I don't know. I feel like there is a difference. Then I'm going to knock it down to 6 when I go around some of these toes. And we don't want to do every outline, every toe, where it's just going to look wrong. Wrong. Knock this down now. I don't even like that. Like that's what it has to be. Again, this character, Jungle Woman, has been recruited to fight the zombie monkeys, and she lives in the jungle with her husband, Jungle Man, and they're able to communicate with the animals and help them, get them to help them fight off all these zombie monkeys and stuff. This one's a 6. I decided even a 7 was too much. So we've knocked it down to 6. Line thickness. That's terrible. That's not what I want either. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Now we'll take a 5. And we'll get some line weights on some of these inside lines here. Well, I've been doing this for 2 hours now. Taking me a while today to get this done. I don't have as much to talk about as I did yesterday. I've been a little bit more quiet because I don't know, sometimes you'll talk a lot one day and then the next day there's just not much to say, I guess. All right, now let's go with this pen here. Oh no, it goes there. What the heck, man? This is here. There we go. That's pretty cool. To do that. I'm going to open another layer up to do some rendering. In case I don't like it, I won't have destroyed any of my line art. Maybe more like that. Be the shadow and like be a shadow cast. Kind of like that there. That's kind of a better rendering line. If I really wanted to go crazy with it, we put that all in shadow, as well as this, this. Make a cast shadow off there. I'd make a cast shadow off here. Inside the leg there. Maybe there. 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 Inside that foot. That's pretty much all I gotta do. So I'm gonna re-render this now that I've mapped it. I'm gonna knock it down and I'm gonna do it over. So we're saying, because this pen, it's gives me better, more consistent line for rendering than the other one. There. And then keep these going the same direction. Gonna make her look too old. That works. No. That works. I don't think I like it better without all the rendering, to be honest. I look at that one with minimal rendering versus this one. All the other rendering. I think I'm going to keep it like this. That's it. I think that's it. I'm going to go with that one. But what about that arm? I mean, that arm would have to have something. So, do a little bit on this arm. I just don't want to turn it into a render piece. I'll leave it there. I don't think we should overwork it. I mean, the reality is there would be shadows cast on here, but I'd rather do that with the coloring and the shadows off here and everything. I'd rather do that with the coloring than with the lines. So that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we'll keep going and plugging forward with this page. There's still a lot of work left to do here. And I'll probably be up later today with another stream. There's so many more things I need to work on. Let's save my work here, and I'll be back tomorrow for sure, if not later today, with another live stream.